Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ball. I don't care if I never come back. 'Cause it's root for the Cubbies. Yeah. We don't win, it's a shame. Why is so? Three strikes, you're out and me.
All right, Jackson, bring us in, man.
Let's get right to it, Blake. It is Wednesday. We skipped a day because of Blake Lonenberger going to a dinner that he had to go to some reunion. I believe it is. Not sure because he knows more about it than I do. So let's get right to it. Blake, we have a lot to talk about. So let's get right to it. So let's start off with Game 1 of the World Series.
Oh,
and
man.
believe it or not, Blake,
Oh, man.
the Indians win Game 1. They're up 1-0. They shut out Chicago. And believe it or not, it is a big sports day in the city of Cleveland right now, as the NBA Finals just happened last year, and for the first year for the Cleveland Cavaliers, their season opened last night on the same night where the Cleveland Indians had the World Series. And it's definitely the city of champions right now, Blake, and the people of Cleveland and the city of Cleveland. Blake, what is up? And talk to me, and what is going on with you, and what's happening?
Well, Jackson, first of all, thank you very much for that intro music that you picked out. Scottie Pippen destroying "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Hey, listen, the lesson of this is just because you're a famous basketball player doesn't mean you need to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" for another sport. Jackson, Cleveland, the city of Cleveland are winners. The city of Chicago are losers right now. You've got the Bulls. You've got the mess with Derrick Rose. You've got the Cubs that are such a great baseball team. No doubt the better of the two baseball teams getting swept and shut out last night 6-0. Chris Bryant. I mean, where were the hitters, man? Listen, Jackson, the curse is alive and well. The Cubs are so close they can taste it. But Game 1 is a huge game to win. Jackson, tonight they'll play again in Cleveland. And a city that's on fire, man. They raised the banner. It was emotional. Their rings are bigger than our foreheads. They're massive, man. And Cleveland is on fire right now. That place is excited. The basketball arena and the baseball field are no more than a stone's throw away. That place is rocking. Cubs, it's a must-win tonight, Jack. What do you think, man? Who's going on the mound tonight?
Well, it should be very close compared to last night. I mean, no question about it. I mean, it would definitely depend on the pitcher who pitched last night. The Indians pitcher that we saw last night was very hot, and he had a good, very arm speed. A lot better than Kershaw, for sure. But, yeah, that Indians pitcher was on fire.
Well, listen, man. Jackson, I think the Cubs just have such a hex against them. Tonight, they got to get the bats going. They couldn't touch the pitcher from the Indians last night. They got to swing the bats, man. They have great bats. They also have great pitching. Now, their pitcher did good last night. He only allowed 3 runs in 6 innings, but that's not good enough. That's not good enough. Jackson, where are they playing tonight? What's the name of the Cleveland Indian Stadium that the baseball team is playing in tonight?
Sure, it is called Progressive Field. And believe it or not, Blake, I do have some exciting news
Oh, boy.
to give out to all you Blackjack Sports listeners out there. Is that my dad got us tickets for the World Series
What?
for like Game 3 in Chicago on Friday night. So we're
No.
gonna go as a whole family.
No.
And we're gonna go, and we are leaving tomorrow.
No.
Like, mess. We're packing our bags
No!
tomorrow, and then we're gonna go up there tomorrow and go to the World Series Game 3 at Wrigley Field. We're
No!
gonna laugh with my family and my dad, and it's gonna be fun, man.
Oh!
It's lots of fun.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not even joking, man.
Jackson.
We're gonna have a great time while we're there.
let me put it like this, man. You are one lucky guy. I'll tell you what, your dad had to dig deep and get the ball rolling to get these tickets, man. You're going to be in one of the best sporting environments in the world. I mean, listen, the Cubs are America's team. If you don't have a dog in this fight, you're cheering for the Cubs. They're down 1-0. If they win tonight and it goes back to Chicago, it's going to take you and your family cheering them on to get them back in this. Man, that's going to be an electric place to be. Game 3. You are one lucky guy, Jack. And that's why you broadcast with us. Hey, we're going to have to maybe do a broadcast, a little FaceTime broadcast outside of Wrigley Field, a little pregame, maybe media badge broadcast for the fans. So do you think you could swing that for us maybe? A little inside info?
That's a great idea. I mean, it might be there or it might be outside of a hotel in Chicago. Who knows where the heck I'm going to be and with my family. That could likely happen depending on how busy I am. So it could likely happen. And of course, I will say this about my dad getting tickets for the World Series.
Come on.
Not a lot of people that I've known in the past ever go
Nobody.
to these kind of sporting events.
Nobody.
Not even you or anybody that I knew or any friends I know in the past ever do that.
Well,
Only me, my family, my dad got those special tickets.
you know why? Because you have the best dad in the world. Come on.
I really do.
Come on.
More than any other parents I ever met in the past. No question about it. And
All right.
yes, I'm blessed to have a good family than any other family in the world. And let me tell you,
No doubt
my
about
dad
it.
moved down here to get the best job in the world and the
Come
best sports job in the world. And that's no question about it. Not even close.
Hey, you're right about that, Jack. Listen, the World Series is not the only thing going on right now. We had tip-off in the NBA. The Cleveland tip-off, after they got the massive rings, they played great. Hey, how about the Warriors, though? What did you hear about the Warriors last night, Jack? They've got Kevin Durant. They've got the Splash Brothers. I mean, they should have an all-star team. How'd they do last night against those San Antonio Spurs? And Poppy.
Yeah. Last that I heard is that they lost that game at home to the Spurs. So that is not a good way to start your season right now. You're 0-1, but it is early. So now, you got Kevin Durant in your new leader of this basketball team, but you started the season 0-1 against a good San Antonio Spurs team that beat you at Golden State. That's not a good start right now.
Well, let's pump the brakes, Jack, because everybody's freaking out saying Kevin Durant made the team worse. It's been one game. We can't. It's too early to tell, Jack, right? I mean, let's give them time. Let's give them 10, 15, 20 games, and then let's start having this conversation about Kevin Durant made him good, he made him better, or he made him worse, right? Am I right, Jack?
I would think so. I mean, it would. I mean, we saw the score for a couple periods throughout the game, and yeah, Golden State was down by double digits coming into the third quarter and half of the first half, and it was definitely not their way until the fourth quarter. But that was what it was, the way it is in this game. And that's where it stands right now for Golden State.
Jack, real quick, you're wearing a blue shirt. You don't have a Cubs logo out of the screen on that blue shirt, do you?
Not that I know of.
Okay, just making sure. Listen, I'm going to give you 2 words, one name, 2 words, and you tell me what you know about this person and what they're doing. Jake Bentley.
Never heard of it.
I believe he's a new quarterback for South Carolina, Jack, if I'm not mistaken. Played great.
Yes.
Now, granted it was UMass, but nonetheless, he's a large guy. He's tall. He's stout. He can sit in the pocket. He's making great throws against UMass. Granted. They got a big game this weekend. I'll tell you what, against Tennessee, those Vols are upset. They've lost the game. They think they didn't lose the game. They got killed by Alabama. They're going to be coming with a vengeance. How does South Carolina do this weekend?
Well, I think it's going to be very tough because you do have a very good Tennessee Vols coming into town, and it's going to be a tough game for Will Muschamp because Josh Dobbs, I believe South Carolina was 0-3 in the past couple seasons against Tennessee, so against Butch Jones. So this is going to be a very tough game for Will Muschamp, even though it was a good win for the starting freshman quarterback for South Carolina. As you mentioned, very good for the last game, but now you have to deal with an SEC East Divisional game that you have coming up. This is the SC East divisional game you have, and against a very good Volunteer game. I'm not sure if South Carolina are going to have enough love against this football team. It's a very good football team coming into y'all's house, but it's going to be very tough to see how this plays out, Blake.
Hey, you're right, Jack. And I mean, listen, the bottom line is South Carolina was supposed to be one of the worst teams in the conference. Tennessee was supposed to be one of the best. So we'll see how it works out. Jack, one more thing. I want to know what your sports moment of the week was. Are you ready? What was Jackson's takeaway? Sports moment of the week. Go, Jack. Give it to me. What was your favorite moment of the sports weekend?
My favorite moment of the sports weekend? Well, I want to say it's college football. Texas A&M versus losing to Alabama, and it's Penn State, of course, number one that I liked this past weekend. Penn State upsetting Ohio State.
Oh, man. Jackson, how about that? That should have never happened. Never happened. That is throwing the college playoff system for a loop. Clemson moves to number 3. Now they're slated to play the number 2 team, not Alabama first. Ohio State still has to play Michigan. If they beat Michigan, they'll both be one-loss teams. They both get in. Neither one of them get in. It's crazy, man. Jack, it's been great talking to you. We'll talk later. Great talking.